got an error there, but hopefully we won't have another issue. So yes, getting underway now at the circuit de Catalunya, Spain, with the third round of the Romanian F1 League here at RLH. So we have 16 drivers. And we've got, as we are following right now, the league leader in Addy, who's about to start his flying lap, so I think we'll stick on board and see how Addy does on his first go on mediums. The long straight down to the first turn, and very demanding circuit, especially now going through turn 3. Not the best one, running out a little wide as well. Let's see. So Addy the Haas driver now into the setting sector on his first run. Not sure exactly the times he'll be looking for, but expect it to be a quick one from Addy. Almost lost it through that blind corner there. It's very easy to lose the back end and lose it into the wall. Managed to save it. Raz puts on a 1:16.9. And Addy with a few mistakes, unable to set a good time that time around, but I'm sure that'll change. See, there was a incident. And Marco there, running into the back of someone. I'm actually unsure who it was. Staying out the way quite nicely of other drivers also coming through the area. Having issues, of course, with the loss of front wing. Likely won't want to start on these sets of tyres now. They'll be fairly worn as Andre Ivan sets us time on the softs, a 1:16.4. Gini as on the softs as well, he's slightly quicker. I think he'll be coming into the pits. Strikes things on a fast lap. Kelsey in the Williams, although this is clearly a slow lap. Dragos into the pits. Anthony in the Red Bull, driver I haven't seen as of yet, almost losing it there, keeping it going, but it looks like that's also a slow lap. A lot of drivers not, maybe intentionally not sending representative times. I'm unsure. I think Andre Ivan will be coming in as well. Trying to find someone on a fast. This is an in lap 2. And these are out laps. I think Billy's on a fast, so we'll take on Billy. He's just coming through the second, or just starting the second sector. So just to check, so our fastest driver is actually a reserve driver, Marco, and so he's getting points for manner. It's a good result there so far. Billy now coming through the final twisty and finicky area. Let's see the run up to the line. And goes into 4th place. A 1:16.5. Nice time. We'll see, like I said earlier, a lot of people haven't set times yet. We'll now go to the Red Bull, who was certainly on a slow lap or had something go wrong with that lap. DRS and ERS going, so clearly now on a fast lap. So yeah, this is a driver that I haven't seen before either. I think it might be his first run this season, unless I'm very much mistaken. The Red Bull driver. Going through a difficult corner. Not flat out, he didn't get that flat out. Let's see the second DRS straight, and misses by a long way there. Struggling. Let's see. We're going to go into Marcus Daniel in his Ferrari, coming to the end of the lap, and see what time he can smack in with the mediums. A 1:18.3, that's quite off the pace. Lucas at one point there set a time, and his mediums are 1:16.6. Our pole setter's coming through on softs this time though. Now at the front we have the Alfa Romeos at the moment. There's Alexandru and Marco. I can see that the fastest lap unfortunately at the bottom isn't changing, so we're going to have to keep a close eye on changes. And coming through the final corner, let's see what the time he can set. And he betters his time by half a second, it said up there, and that makes it a 1:15.4. His teammate into the pits with a 1:15.9, getting very close to his teammate's old best. I think Andre Ivans made a mistake there. He was equal on his second sector time, but now he's really slowing it down. Raz, as I prefer using, starting his second flyer. And again, that turn 3 just keeps going round and round. And he's, according to his own timings, he's way down on his first sector time. So let's move to 3rd place. I could just set a new time. Let's just see what the time shows in the first sector. He's slightly up, is Genie. And his I again almost said Force India. Racing Point. I should just say Pink Mercedes. That's much easier to remember. But yes, going through onto the back straight here, DRS open, ERS blasting, gets the apex of the corner, unlike the driver earlier. 3rd sector challenging. I think he just got the challenge. We'll see how his time goes. And yeah, I think, yeah, boarding the lap wasn't going best. Michael put in a stormer along 15.6, just missed that. Cracking lap to split the Alfa Romeos. Unfortunately for our Billy supporter, in fact Billy's just coming out on his outlap. We'll try to join him for his flyer a bit later on. We have third place starting his lap, Alexandru in the Alfa Romeo, doing quite good here as the Alfa Romeo team, or the Alfa Romeo drivers. Just remind Marco is a reserve and will be scoring points for himself as well as Manor. Passes Andrews, who's nicely out of the way, coming to the very difficult part of the circuit, and the blind right-hander and onto the straight, but unfortunately invalidates the lap. Andrews was on a slow. We've got Lucas, who is slightly up in sector 1. Comes through that same area. Will he invalidate? Nope. He keeps it going. He's onto the straight. Will he hit the apex? Not quite, but actually still a good run through. See what he can do in this final technical sector. Hopefully, yes, he's guy in front has realised that Lucas was coming through. And let's see the time that can be set. It's a 1:59. That moves him up to third place. Let's go watch Billy and his softs just through into the second sector. The orange McLaren. Nicely done. Keeps it on track. DRS zone. Get through. Let's see, this third sector will prove the challenge. It's very wide though through there. Not the best run. Let's see. You can pull out. In fact, that. Right, so we've come through the final corner. I don't think it'll be quick enough. It's 8th. It's a 2/10 improvement. Let's hope Billy can get back to the pits. Maybe he can give us another go. Andre Ivan we're on board with now on the Mercedes, also on softs. Keeping catching them around the same area. Down this back straight DRS zone, and lockup was already missing the apex by a long way though. Trying to find someone in a fast. We found Raz in the second Haas. He's on a fast lap. 3/10 up in the first sector. And goes down turn 5. Gets it slowed down, no issues running through here. Just blind turn. Perfect onto the DRS straight again, ERS going 2. Gets it turned in quite nicely. Let's see the time on the sector split. So, I must have missed it. That's still going now. Let's see how he does in this finicky chicane at the end of this sector. Quite well, I think. Round the final corner. Let's see the time that is set. It's a 1:16.3. Must have lost time at the end, I think. Oh, bailed out at that very last minute, does Marco. He won't get another time in, he's not got time to do it. Billy right behind. Sorry, not Billy, Jeannie right behind Raz. Billy in the pits. Andrew's on a fast. 2/10 up. He's in mediums and in the top 10. That could prove quite useful if the one stop ends up being a quicker solution around Spain. Bit wide, but I don't think I'll lose him too much time. Over the curbing, through the final corner. Let's see what he can set with mediums. He gets half a second quicker, but doesn't actually improve in his position, still in 10th. Into the pitch comes Genie. Raz was slower, but that was actually his outlap, I think, because he's last in the DRS. There's not much ERS left, actually. I think he's trying the impossible to do a second fast lap in softs. Yeah, he's down by 2/10. Addy behind him though, his teammate is up. Let's see. Just slightly. So the guy that's won the first two races, struggling slightly, down in 5th in qualifying. The back markers getting out of the way, or the traffic getting out of the way, I really should say. Let's see what the second sector holds. Time up, 2 seconds. Takes it wide. Let's see if that loses him much time. Can he control it around this final sector? A few people retiring from the session, but out of ERS for this final run. But where does it put him? Well, it really improves. It puts Addy back on the front row of the grid. Will he stay on the front row? It looks like it. Varicel couldn't better the time, and he's in 3rd. He's coming into the pits, and yes, that's us done. Addy brings out the lap in the end to get him back on the front row, but a reserve driver for Mana takes pole position. Unfortunately we have to wait for the time remaining marker to disappear. Why are we waiting? Maybe Cody's can sort this one out as well. That'd be helpful so we can actually move on to the race. I guess this gives me a little bit of time to cover the standings. Addy, who we're following right now, is top of the standings after winning the first two races with 50 points. In second place is Andre Ivan with 2 podiums with 30 points, which is 2 third places. If I do remember correctly. Yep, that was right. His teammate Varicel picked him in Great Britain when they had an interesting final few laps where they could have actually got the win. Russell, who's starting a bit down the field, is in 3rd with 20 points. Yet to actually get a podium, but very consistent results. But yeah, like I said, Russell will be starting from the back, didn't get a good lap in. Billy 9th, Andrews into the top 10 with mediums, I believe that could play very well into his hands. 7th place in the championship he is with 16. It's very close between 4th and 7th, all covered within 2 points of each other. And not too, but this is the early days of the championship. We'll see exactly how that plays out. But right now, Addy definitely driver's seat and is on the front row for the race, which will very much help him out in his defence against his closest rival at the moment, Andre Ivan. Okay, well, we're just getting the formation lap underway. So Marco leads off, Addy in 2nd, Varichello in 3rd, Andrews in 4th, Lucas in 5th, Andre Ivan, the nearest championship rival to Addy, in 6th, Raz in 7th, Genie in 8th, Billy in 9th, Andrews on the mediums in 10th, Kettles in 11th, also starting the mediums. Well, I think that answers the question. Everyone outside the top 10 chose to start in mediums. Fifi, Dragos, Ari, and Russell, all starting on the medium tyre, I believe. And of course Andrews qualified on the medium. I believe they may be one stopping. Not 100% sure, but that's what I would guess. The soft runners may struggle, and that'll probably be a very difficult two-stop, a very difficult one-stop, or a two-stop. We will find out as the race unfolds. Here we go. Getting around here. So yes, it looks like a two stops for the front runners and a one stop or possibly two stop from everyone starting on mediums. So we will see how that plays out. It's going to be two stop versus one stop, according to what the game's showing us. The tyre. So let's see how these strategies converge. I think it could be very interesting. Here we go. Lights are on. Long time waiting, and lights out in Spain. Oh, and Andrews is already off. Getting close with the Mercedes drivers there. Andre Ivan drops out, and who's that round at the back? It's Dragos. And the other Mercedes of Marcus also had issues at the back. And Andre Ivan is round 2 as well as G's, so they might have had a collision. 2. A few issues. Now we've got the Ferraris fighting Andrews and Marcus. I think everything's kind of settled down a little. Hi-Fi, what a start, up to 7th on those mediums, in a commanding position now. Marcus just got past his teammate Andrews near the back. That was a bit of a chaotic start. I tried to cover as much as possible, but there was things happening up and down the field once again. Billy, probably the closest here to Russell, who also got a good start. Okay. Andrews and Dragos into the pits with damage. Russell getting it done, not quite. Just let us hit Billy's through against Russell. So is Genie, but he went way wide. Side by side, not side by side, and Genie keeps the place, but again he went way wide. We will hopefully get this fixing itself. Addy, I guess, I apologise if I actually missed Addy taking the lead of the race. I think that that was due to Codemasters having issues, but we got a right scrap here. For first place, with Addy leading it now. Sorry that I missed that. The intervals weren't showing close enough. It's a bit of overtake. I believe Addy's using overtake to defend this. He absolutely is. Now overtake being used from behind a little bit. And he's sticking behind. You get a bit of DRS. You're getting through. Addy's had an issue there through turn 2 into turn 3. And Marco will get this done, I'm sure, into turn 4. No, he chooses, I believe, not to. Or did Addy use overtake? He might have. Addy's run wide again through turn 4. And this gives Mark a chance. He's trying to do a switchback. Oh, yellow flags. Go and check what that is. Yeah, that is the Red Bull driver. Marco, but he'll have DRS here. I think he'll be getting by. Barrichello's DNF'd. He's into the wall down the straight. How did that happen? I have no idea how that's managed to happen. Following the fight at the front, I missed that. I have no idea how that's managed to happen. But there is now a safety car. Raz gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. I am confused. Oh, right, so here's interesting. The guys on the softs, no, I'm not surprised, are pitting for mediums. That is, sticking to the two-stop. I don't think they have much choice. But that'll bring them back up. It will essentially cancel out the first stop for these drivers, for some of them anyway. Billy pitted? Right. And some strange decisions at the back. A lot of people that even started on mediums have pitted for new mediums. I don't know if I would have done that, but I guess it means they get a pit stop in. They will have to make another pit stop for hards later on. So I'm not quite sure. Dragos is still in the pits. His second chance has come with the safety car because of Barrichello. But I have absolutely no idea what happened with Barrichello. you could only really end up in a position like that, you would think, with contact down the street. But I can't say that. I can't say for definite because I didn't see it. But that's one of the strangest places for a car to end up that I've actually seen. Because it wasn't at the beginning of the street, it was right in the middle of the street. So following the safety car, most are quite close. Andre Ivan into the pit. What's happened to Andre Ivan? Is he just choosing to pit now? Seems like it. Another set of mediums to go on. And a penalty. Or lag, because it's now halfway down the pit straight. So all the pack is together now, except from Andre Ivan and Dragos, who is way off the back and put on a new set of softs. Maybe thinking to go softs to hards for the rest of the race, which is certainly possible. Andrew's slow. Ah, right, there's been a contact. Lucas gets a penalty for a collision with Genie. It's one of those easy things to do behind the safety car. You wouldn't believe how easy it is to actually crash behind the safety car, get a penalty, get damage. Safety car is in this lap, so we don't actually have the gaps, annoyingly. Okay, everyone's catched up with each other, even Andre Ivan and Dragos out the back, so let's see how Fight deals with the restart. Lucas right behind them in the Williams. Let's see how well this goes. So far been exciting. It's only 5 laps been. Now 6. Got a good 27 laps to go with this. Should be a good one. Good start from Fifi. Getting away. Who isn't getting away? Kelsey, as Russell gets by into second place, but fighting back. Not quite. We've got Addy and Marcus Stein. Don't know what happened there. Right back round. Andre Ivan's made a couple of places. Who's yellow flags? Losing a place to Addy as well. And the one that was on pole at the beginning, now down in 9th, not doing great, although I believe he did pit onto those mediums. Taking a dangerous move, but getting it done, and takes two places. Nicely done. 7th place. I think we've got a few disconnections as well, unfortunately, which is seeing other people tumble. Addy now past Wi-Fi. Russell into the lead. Wi-Fi's disconnected, it looks like, as he's ghosting. It might not quite be the case. Who's dropping like a stone? I think it's Andre Ivan. Yeah. Russell's off to the side. Safety car's out. That's why. I've seen that there was a few people off and wide and saying a lot of stuff. I didn't realise. Well, we have Billy with replacing his front wing. Andre Ivan coming in. We have Genie, who was seen off, replacing his front wing. I think anyone that was coming in there was replacing their front wing. There was a lot happening. I'm confused to why there's a safety car though. So we neutralise the race again. And we've got Russell and Addy up in front. And most of the pack together, or at least quite close, so I don't think this will be a long safety car. Oh, Genie gets disqualified for parking in a dangerous location, but he's just rejoined. That may have been an AI mistake. I think there was a few drivers struggling, maybe with connection or something, because there was quite a few ghosted cars, which may have actually caused the safety car to come out, because there was a few slow cars on the grid. At this point I am guessing there was a lot of shuffling up around the order, especially to the back, but nothing that I could see that would have brought out a safety car. So at this point, 8 laps in, 14 out of 16 remaining. And a lot of second chances, especially the ones that didn't get a good restart. So Marcus, Billy, Andre, Ivan and Raz, who all had to come into the pits. Russell got good restart. He hasn't actually pitted yet. Now he could be running into trouble, although I think probably everyone needs to pit at least one more time anyway, so maybe I think he rethink that, he'd probably be fine. I think everyone needs to pit again at least once. Yeah, James now left the session totally. So here we go, a second restart, and this is lap 9. So Addy's got a good run on Russell. No DRS, remember. And round the outside he goes. Quite easily. Andrews gets past Dorados, who's on softs. Turn 4 here. And Marcos tries to get round Kelsey, but doesn't get it. There is a yellow flag. Again, actually having issues. There's a yellow flag from there. So Kelsey was right behind, but really more falling into the clutches of Fifi. Marcus come down the straight. Yeah, I keep forgetting he's ghosting. Shame really. Lucas on the tail here. I think he's starting to move away. He's already out of the DRS range. No DRS, of course, for the first 2 laps after the safety car restart, unless we get another safety car, of course. Then we'll probably never have DRS. Okay. Alright, into the pits comes Alexander, who looked to have a little bit of damage and gets a penalty. Andre Ivan, this probably what the yellow flags were for at the back, as these three who just switched on the hards have came into the pits. Bad race for those three. Raz, Andre Ivan and Alexander so far. You never know, a safety car might bring them back into it, but it's the safety cars that have actually caused them to have issues. Fight almost goes into the back of the Williams driver in front of him. Losing it, manages to collect it, but now he's got Lucas right behind him. Not really an overtaking spot. Let's see if we can get the speed on him down into turn 10. I believe anyway. Not quite. Not there. Andrew's right behind this. He's managed to bring his race back together. He's up in 7th now. Lucas looks like he'll be ready to pounce down the main straight. Although Fi actually pulls a bit of a gap. And now he won't have a good run down the straight. Well, Dragos and his softs, are they starting to fall away? Probably starting to fall away. Not gonna get him down the straights. His belly, nope, they're too close to the corner by this point. Up at the front, Russell now in 3rd. Marco chasing Addy. So yeah, this goes. So the first use of DRS coming up for these two. Marcus to get a good run also with DRS. It's not gonna work out now. Lucas though might get free. Again, not quite close enough. So Haas versus Alfa Romeo. And Addy runs wide, he's getting pressure put on him. It's DRS and this will be really easy, or at least it should be. Side by side, I think he's going to clear it before he even gets into the corner. No, they're side by side still. Turn 3, and Addy keeps his lead. Kelsey and Fifi are battling around turn 3. This is going to be close. Nice battling here. Still side by side into turn 4. We've also got Lucas right behind him, and Fifi gets it done. Or does he? Not quite. And yes, he's now got it done. And they're all really, well, actually back to being side by side for a split second there. Loses the back though. Lucas not going to get the run, but he is going to get DRS. And manages to defend, and in fact, oh, Kelsey off. Unfortunately done, and down to 10th place, and he's got damage. They're all getting a run. Lucas on Fifi and gets the underbraking into turn 1. Celtic into the pits. Billy Matthew gets past Marcus Daniel. We've got Andre Ivan coming through as well. It's a close battle on the middle of the points. 4th to 8th. It was 4th to 9th until Kelt had his incident, unfortunately. Although Lucas is pulling away now, and now it's going to be Andrews making the moves. As Lucas is actually now outside of DRS. Round the 3rd sector we go. Okay, back to the front, side by side. Addy manages to keep the racing line. They're still side by side. Not actually touching, which is great to see. We've got the run into turn 4, but I think Addy's got this covered. Fi into the pits and putting on hards. Marco finding out how difficult it is to pass Addy. Great defensive drive so far, and still peeling away from the rest of the pack. It's DRS and overtake engaged, still not quite enough to make it. Now we're going through the third sector. It's getting really close to the back of them in the third sector. Not gonna get close enough. Billy with a 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings, probably corner cutting, or track extending penalties. Now I've got DRS and DRS down the main straight. Will we get to be side by side out of DRS? No, it won't happen this lap. Billy into the pits from his soft seal, probably going to hards. And Russell does the same, so we've got Andrews now up to 4th place. Marcus Daniel into 8th. After their horrific start. I must say, that's some build up because they still need to pit. So we'll see where this all comes out for the every driver. And the leading drivers will have to pit again, but they do have a decent lead. There we go, DRS and a bit of overtake. Really low in DRS, whilst Andy's got a little bit to play with. Good to see that the front of the race is the closest battle. Through the finicky third sector ending. Overtake getting used to going round the final corner now into the DRS straight. Still not really getting close enough. Defending is Addy. Defending thin air. He was never going to be close enough. So now we're getting into what Barcelona, the track, kind of shows. You can get close, but it is so difficult to overtake. We'll go back, there's a couple of other close ones. Russell makes a wee mistake going through turn 2 and loses a chunk of time. They'll be going back to the field at Russell on brand new hards. And so it's Fifi behind. Raz catching on the Ivan as well, and then there's a good 4.5 second gap up to Alexander, who has also made a decent recovery as well. Well wide out of there, around there was Raz. DRS overtake. There's still too big of a gap, really, and Russell's going to, I was going to say going to struggle to close that back down. He's closed it down a little bit, but he's still not within the DRS. That was one mistake. We've got Addy and Marcus round and side by side through turn 3, turn 4. Is Marcus going to have it done? Still round by side through the whole first sector, through the beginning of the second. Addy gets onto the grass a little bit and loses the position, but he got the DRS zone coming up. Yellow flags in sector 1, but we've got to follow the lead. And it's safety car. Well, Marcus is now the lead. What was the safety car for? Not really anybody lost a lot of time. Well, Dragos there was off. Wanting to follow that lead battle, so I don't know what brought out the safety car at all. Keep an eye on the pits, the front two taking advantage of this, getting into the pit lane. Will he come out ahead of Lucas? Well, no, because he's coming out of pits, and Andrew's taking advantage too. Billy coming in too in 5th. And Marcus also. Is everyone? Yeah, it's about that time. Okay, no, Alex doesn't. Billy, is he going to make a place up in the pits? Oh well, there was a bit of fixing for Lucas. Billy onto softs, so you'll definitely need to pit again. I'm not sure that was the wisest decision. Most are going on to hards. Pretty much everyone pitting. Well, yeah, we do have a Billy fan in the fans, in the audience, but unfortunately, I really don't think the softs was the right tyre to go on to, because I think you'll need to pit again. But I guess how many safety cars we're having, you might be able to take advantage of that and then come in, put on another tyre under another safety car and be fine. I have no idea. Alexander Andrew didn't pit, and I think he's pretty much the only driver that hasn't, and he's on 10-lap old hards. That might have been worth it may be, of course, that I think about it, that Billy doesn't have any fresh mediums, but at this point you've put on hards, unless he doesn't have any fresh hards either. Oh well, let's just hope it works out for Billy, because I don't think he can take the softs successfully or quickly, particularly the 14 laps. Of course, some of them behind the safety car that he needs to go, but hey, Kelsey has another lifeline after spinning off and getting some damage, and he was fighting up near the front and 4th and 5th. So now he's going to be dragged right up to the back of the field to see if he's got the pace to make some positions up. Let's see, Andrews pittage has made time up. Place now. Well, actually, in fairness, he's probably in a net 3rd place, because Andrews will have to pit. Unless he plans on taking these hards to the end, that Alexandru has to pit, I mean. Unless he's planning to take the hards to the end, Alexandru, which I still think Andrews can get by. This will be a good recovery drive to the podium for Andrews, if he can make it stick. Safety car is in this lap, the whole field's more or less bunched up together again, but this time it's Marco that'll yeah, this time it's Marco that'll have to make it. First time it was Addy, then it was Fi, and now it's Marcos. 3 different leaders for a safety car period. Let's see how this one goes. Already got the overtake going, and gets away quite easily from Addy, who's now closing in, but too late. Doable, but I think he's struggling at the end. Billy with the overtake, not with the RS yet, and with the softer tyres. Might actually get round after the lock-up by Andrews. Not quite. Lucas still there, breathing down his neck. Billy makes a mistake, so Lucas pulls in a little bit. Ivan right behind that battle too. Lucas gets a 3-second time penalty, so does Marcus Dyer. Overtake already engaged. And we just about get it. Turn 1, no. Tried to sweep round. Lucas parks it on the apex. And Ivan parks it on the side and goes round. Falls back into 12. That is a shame. He needs another safety car. Now we've got Billy. That is a real shame for Andre Ivan there. He's having actually a good race, and this is really paying hay to his championship challenge. Daddy, who's in second place, still challenging for the lead, for the win. Billy, overtake, engaged on Andrews, still not enough. Well, Andrews doesn't lock up this time, but Billy really closing in under braking. Don't think you're going to get around there, Billy, but wait until you get onto the main straight and power that ERS. I think you got a very good chance this time around. Get a good run, which he does. Andrews does too though. So we've got ERS in the overtake mode. So does Andrews, I would bet. Yes, so nothing gained. This is for 4th place at the moment. Alexander's actually doing quite well on old hards compared to everyone else's tyres. I think he'd struggle if Billy was coming up behind him, but Andrews is putting up the defensive fight of his life right now. Oh, and again, really closing in, under braking with the softer tyre. Quicker, less durable softer tyre. Onto the main straight now. He's lost a bit of time, so he'll close in under braking, but that's all he'll do, close in. Marco starting to pull away at the front. He put on mediums, so he should have a pace advantage at this point. Lucas is closing back in on this. Now, I should say we'll have DRS now. Billy gets a better, seems like, run onto the main straight this time. DRS and overtake. This'll be it. Should be it anyway. And Billy's through on the straight. Doesn't need to worry about the turn. And it's all over once DRS becomes a factor. Let's just see if Andrews is able to keep up. I think he'll struggle. Well, Billy ran a little wide to turn 4. We've got Lucas right behind them too, but also on the same compound. And already Billy closing in on Alexander. He's still got DRS now. Not got much overtake left though. This race is quickly becoming the Billy Massel show. Giving us an entertaining race through the field with his soft tyres. Will they last? Maybe they'll last, but will it be quick enough at the end, or will we see him getting passed by people on hards and medium tyres? That's the main question. We got Lucas, who's got overtake and DRS on Andrews as well. Not quite a sitting duck yet, but if closing in, he's no longer got DRS on Billy. So he's going to be struggling, I think, to keep Lucas behind. Yeah, just a slight issue with the graphic noises that I'm getting on Lucas Gears box, but we just have to deal with it because he's on the back of Andrews. Of course, we've got Billy on the back of Alexandru, who's just made a lock-up. Well, not close enough to take full advantage of that, was Billy. But if he keeps close enough, you could have him down the main straight. Runs a bit wide through there. Another lock-up from Andrews, who's on 16, almost 17-year-old lap-old tyres. And he's now got Billy with 6-year-old lap-old tyres with overtaking DRS. Closing, but not quite enough. Russell's got past 5-5 down the main straight. Keep an eye on this, see if I can come back. A lot wider out with it through turn 3 and you'll lose time on that. Right, so we'll go back up to Billy, who's closed in on Alexandru again. This time much closer on this back straight, so we'll see if Alexandru makes a mistake, he'll definitely get him. Doesn't even need to make a mistake. Going round the outside, it runs wide. Has to make sure, has to stay behind. I can absolutely tell you that Alexandru is not less than a tenth behind Addy. It's 5 seconds, it's now 6 seconds. Andrews closed in on this though, and so is Lucas, so it's now a 4-way fight. Andre Ivan past Kelsey and the Williams. But it's now a 4-way and actually quite close to being a 5-way as Raz isn't too far behind Lucas. Fight for the final podium place. So Billy with his softs, this is actually working surprisingly well right now. For how long he's going to have to take them. Right, he's right behind Alexander again, but I think the dirty air affecting him there, gaining a heap of time under braking, but not able to get it done. Andrews right behind as well, and Lucas, and Raz is also in the DRS range as well. Marcus Daniels got his own fight to worry about with Russell coming up behind it on 5-5. Loads of battling. Andrews is the closest here. Will he get... I think... Yeah, they've all got DRS. I say all except for Andrew, who is still managing to keep ahead. Russell here going for 8th place. He's looking close, didn't get it done. Andrews close to Billy, Billy close to Alexandru. Lucas right behind Andrews, and right in the firing line too. Alexandru gets a 3-second time penalty, which could make things quite difficult for him. He needs to make a gap. That's going to be very difficult with these old tyres now. Lucas got really close to Andrews. Oh no, Russell, and they're both round. No, sorry, Lucas and Raz are not Russell, but that was Lucas round and Raz round as well. It wasn't really an overtaking place. And Marcus round 2 in the same place. He was in a fight with Russell, so I wonder if there was contact or if Marcus just lost it himself. Russell gets overtaken by 5-5, who's now right behind Lucas. Billy lost time and all that too. Andrews is right behind Billy, and Raz has lost a heap of time. So Raz, who was struggling there, Raz and Lucas lost a lot of time from that attempted overtake, which seemed to actually work for Raz, as he's actually ahead now. Sent them both around though, and it's brought Fi and Russell and Andre, who tried an audacious move there, right back into it. It's brought Russell a little bit further away, but right back into it with Lucas anyway, I should say, because it's really Andrews and Billy way off racing line, and Andrews goes past. No, he doesn't. There's a bit of a touch, and Billy keeps his position with a bit of wheel banging. Andre Ivan gets past Russell, but Russell gets the quicker run, but runs wide in the end, so he'll keep the possession. This is actually really hurting Alexander. He might keep the third place if he can keep pulling away from these battling. Talking about penalties though, Addy just got a penalty. 3-second time penalty. He'll still could be second place with that though. So we've got Andrews with Billy. I really think it's a shame that the three-way fight for third place is kind of over. Now Billy's tyres are starting to worn off. Andrews is trying to get past them, and the guys behind had a clumsy accident in the third sector. And then Mark is also having a sad incident through that sector as well. Now way back in 13th. It's a real shame, but taking those hard's far, taking those softs far is Billy, but Andrews planning on ruining Billy's fourth place, and trying to get back up to Alexandra, who I think now will be quite safe for third, unless he's got any more than the one penalty that I've seen. DRS for Andrews, saving the overtake. Only a few laps to go now. Keep the hold of it, keep on Billy. Marco sets the fastest lap with a 1:18.1, just extending that lead at the front. Addy in a nice second place, his nearest championship rival only on for 2 points. Andrews coming down on Billy, he's got the speed. Will he get him? No wheel banging this time, it's decided before that point. And Billy into fifth. And Andrews just pulls away, already a second up the road. We've got Andre Ivan quite close to Fi. Got a yellow flag in sector 1, and that's Dragos around. Marcus up to 12. Raz just about a second behind Billy. Won't get DRS this lap. May get it next. Andre Ivan still on 5-5. And Brassel right behind that as well. Yeah, now we have Raz right on the back of Billy. I was right, unfortunately, just a couple of laps out. Those softs aren't keeping the performance that they need. and Raz is gonna get by with his mediums into 5th place. Whoa, what? Billy, what? Whoa, Billy's out. Raz kinda just moved. I can't. It's difficult not to think of a point to make there, but Raz moved over to take the racing line, but Billy was still there. Oh, well, and Sunday was stopped as well. Oh, that is... Well, that is likely to go to stewards, and I won't make any further comment. I'd say it's an absolute shame after Billy having an excellent alternate strategy on the softs. If they're not going to score any points, it looked like a decent 6th place at least, maybe even further. The only battle really on the track is Andre Ivan and 5-5 for 6th place. Andre runs wide though. Oh no, he doesn't, just a bit of lag. Going on to the final lap, DRS and overtakes to move. Will the Mercedes driver get past the racing point? It's close. There's a 5-5 tried to keep it in there. He wasn't. Oh, he wasn't able to, and spins it around. And I'll get by. After everything that's happened there, we've got Kelsey back in the points. The 2nd place. It's not 2nd place. 2 points for 9th. Russell not quite close enough to Andre Ivan to get a shot at DRS. Andrew's not closing quickly enough on Alexandru for that 3rd place. And winning the race is the Manor driver, Marco. 2nd place is Addy. He steals the fastest lap at 1:17.7. Alexandru's coming round. He takes 3rd place in the Alfa Romeo. Andrews takes 4th. Raza behind takes 5th. Andre Ivan coming up behind, he takes 6th. Russell jumps him into 6th with penalties. Lucas in 8th, Kelsey 9th, 5-5 jumps into 8th, jumping Lucas and Kelsey on penalty. Kelsey in 10th, Marcus in 11th, Dragos still coming through the final sector. The laps, Red Bull is already finished. Well done Dragos for finishing, but well done Marco for winning the race. The first non-Addy winner of the season. Game gives Razzle driver of the day. There's a lot of contenders for driver of the day. Some of it was a little messy, unfortunately, but I think all in all, a decent race to watch. Definitely fun. Can't say it wasn't that to watch. It was a good race in that term. So, who do you give driver? I think Russell coming up from the at the back to 6th is a good shout. But actually, honestly, I think I got to give it to Andrews, who got a bad start. Not entirely sure what happened, but has used safety cars and strategy and his pace to come back through and take 4th place. Could have been a podium even, but he got stuck behind Billy for a bit of time. So yeah, I think I'll give it to Andrews. Good race back through the field. Other people could have done the same. There was a few incidents throughout, unfortunately, but at times that's how racing goes. but it is a shame. I think we were taking away a fight for that podium, but I'm sure Alexander won't care too much, as that is his first podium of the season. So, thank you for joining us. I've really enjoyed doing commentary on Romanian F1 League here, and see you all next time at the next race. Hopefully commentating somewhere at the Hungaroring. It should be a good race, a very challenging track for the drivers. Easy to overtake in the game there in real life, same as Spain, although we did see the difficulties in overtaking today, even on the F1 games. So, as I've said at every other race, this league is really providing great racing and a good spectacle, and I hope it continues to do so. I'll see you all again sometime. Bye bye.